will ride or die.
Hey guys, it's WCRCarlos. I want to welcome you to the first episode of my new series called To Go Tactics. They're going to be pretty precise clips of simple tactics that you should be using in your everyday gaming. The first tactic we're going to go over today is called baiting. It's a very unused tactic most of the time. A lot of people like to just rush and try to 1v1 and brawl in most of all of their tanks. What I like to do is I like to conserve hit points because I know that it's important to keep my gun in the game. This is a tactic most used by light tanks and medium tanks, along in combination with a partner who's in a TD or a heavy tank. Right now I'm going to show you some of the spots you should be in for your TDs here on mines. The first spot we're going to use is right over here to the left. It's a simple, pretty much behind the bush. It's a very open spot. If anyone from Hill sees you from that spot on Hill through the bushes, then you could potentially get shot from Lighthouse. Although that is a good spot if you have a camo net along with some binoculars. Another good spot here is once you have a faster TD, you can just push up onto this little hill here. This hill helps you see a bit better those who are a bit scared to crest the hill. Lets you get some shots into those camping heavies and also into anyone on the hill, but be careful if you don't have a camo net. It definitely is a very detrimental spot if you don't have that. We're going to push down and we're going to show you a more advanced spot that a lot of faster TDs like to use in the higher tiers. This is a very good baiting spot in combination with the light tank because this can help you see hill very easily if anyone wins it from the other side. What you do is you knock this tree over and you have a very concealed spot, and as you can see right on the hill, and if a partner's baiting you can get shots right into them. This helps you catch them out if they push too hard and if they become careless. And we're going to move over. There's obviously spots in the lighthouse, and there's a spot right there as well if you want to be a little bit more reckless with your spots from the lighthouse. But there is spots from the lighthouse that you can get shots in, but it is kind of iffy whether or not you're going to be able to see the heavies that crest the hill. A little bit more difficult to do that. As you can see, a couple spots right here, pretty easy, as long as you have a faster TD. Now we're on the other side of the map. Here's the advanced spot for the other side of the map. It is more open than the other one. You could potentially move a bit farther back. There are a couple of bushes, but this is a really good spot as long as your partner's baiting. Now this is the common spot for TDs on this spawn. What happens is you spawn right here, you take a right, and you move up onto this hill right here. Any tank can do it. I've done it in some of the slowest, lower tiers that are out there, like the Valentine AT. Basically, it gives you very free damage as they're coming up here, and is really good for the first damage of the game. I would recommend that for FV215Bs and Jagdpanzer U100s. If you're willing to sit and spawn and camp for baiting, I would recommend here, or adversely the spot over here with a couple of bushes. The only problem is these are very open spots and can be exploited. Once you're spotted, the lighthouse can shoot you and the hill can shoot you, and it can be very problematic. I've seen Stura Mills and Rheinmetall Borsix get absolutely ripped from back here when they get spotted, so I'd just be very careful. I'm going to show you exactly what you should do if you're in the spotting vehicle, the baiter, so to say. What you're going to do is you're going to use your speed if you're a light tank and your mobility as a medium tank to push up and catch out the opposing members on the enemy team, the ones who rush out and try to brawl with you. What you need to do is you need to get them focused on you, have them tunnel visioning, and once they take enough damage, what they're going to do is they're going to pull back, and what you need to do at that point is begin the baiting process. At some point, they're going to realize that they need to push you because that's the only way that they're going to be able to win the match is to push you and get you off the hill. What you need is patience, and once they push you, you need to fall back as best you can, and then let your partner who is camping get some shots into their sides, and let the rest of your team deal with them from that point onward. You need to do the same thing from this side of the hill. You need to push up in your medium or light tank, and you need to engage the other team, engage the people who are pushing the hill, flank around so that the people on your team aren't being blocked by you, and then they can see the full side of the other enemy medium or light tank. At this point, you're trading effectively. You're putting more than one gun on a target that only has one gun on you. Your partner can see you from way over there in the distance in the advanced spotting, and he's going to be able to put in plenty of shots as the enemy team overcommit and try to get shots on you, because they realize that you're the only thing between them and victory. And that's the whole point, putting more than one gun on a target and effectively trading more than the enemy team. So right here, I'm in a platoon with Steven Spartan from Atlas, and basically, he's got a Rheinmetall Borsig with the 128mm gun, and I am going to push into town and get some effective spots for him. He's going to use the TD camping spot on this map in order to get some shots in once we spot anybody else. So I'm just going to push around. The advanced spot is basically you spawn, you turn, there's a little mound up to the hill, you climb that, and you can sit there and people can spot for you. And at that point you can put in some really good effective fire. Steven knows the spot, and I'm sure a lot of good players know the spot. Some newer players, if they're playing the more higher tier TDs, they might not know the spot very well, but it's a very good spot to use. Now I'm pushing into town, making sure that there is no real threat. There's a KV-4 in Kangenstein and IS pushing up, but they're not the biggest threat here. I just wanted to spot and make sure our IS-3 defender knew what was coming. I don't really have any shots into the KV-4 here, but right now my teammate can't see me, and that's the problem. If you're not doing this effectively, your teammate's not going to be able to put fire in for you. So what I'm doing is I'm moving to castle, so if the KV-4 pushes up, I have shots into him, and so does Steven. But this is the crucial point. As we move up, Steven is in position with another TD back there, and as we move up, we have a problem on our hands. I am 1v2 now. I'm 1v2 versus a Centurion, and an RU-251 actually pushes up as well. So what I'm doing is I'm falling back. I'm falling back and I'm giving Steven a chance to put shots in. The Centurion is in a terrible spot right now. Right now it's 2v1 versus him, but now it's 2v2. So effectively I'm trying to save my hit points. So you can see someone puts a shot into the Centurion, I pop up, I put a shot in right here, and I'm slowing down the footage to show you what I'm doing. I put a shot in, and I didn't really need to. All I needed to do was pop up and make sure the Centurion was focused on me. As long as he's focused on me and Steven's putting shots into him, we're trading more effectively than he could trade. Now I'm trying to make sure the Centurion's focused on me and not Steven, and so I make sure that I put a shot in and I take a shot. I didn't have to take a shot, but what I wanted to do is make sure his attention's focused on me. So at this point, Steven's zeroing in, he has the chance to put the damage in, and what I'm doing is I've taken one shot, and you can see the Centurion's taken 2 or 3 shots at this point from me and somebody else, and Steven goes ahead and he puts in a big 400 roll here, and right now the Centurion's feeling the heat. He's got 3v1 basically, and I barely lost any health for this, so I put in another shot into him, and I realized we really need to finish off the Centurion, so the baiting goes on the hold for a minute, and I go ahead and I trade more effectively than the Centurion. The RU, however, has a really good hold down spot, and Steven can't see him, so I'm not going to just go ahead and attack him because I have less health. That would be putting myself in a jeopardizing situation where I could leave Steven only by himself, basically, against the rest of this team. So what I'm doing is I'm flanking around, and I'm going to put some shots into this KV-4, and you'll see another good baiting situation here in just a moment. As we put some shots into this KV-4, I accidentally had HE on, so I was trading pretty poorly, considering. Not sure where that shot went. Didn't do very well. So I accidentally get shot a couple times here. Bad choices from me. I stayed much too long, and I shouldn't have done that, but that's my mistake, and I'll learn from it later. Right now, what we're doing is we're getting the JAG Tiger's attention. and what he does is detrimental to him. He looks towards me, and he's putting his side toward my entire friendly team. And Steven puts in a fantastic roll, almost 600 damage. So what we did there is we effectively neutered the Yag Tiger. So guys, I just want to thank you for watching the first episode of To Go Tactics. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is WCRCarlos, and I will see you guys later.